Hello and welcome to Monday's programme.
Coming up tonight between now and 6:30.
Good evening. High streets across Devon and Cornwall were dealt another blow this weekend as shoppers stayed away on what's usually the busiest weekend of the year.
Storm Deirdre meant pre-Christmas footfall was down by almost 10% on Saturday compared to last year. There was a slight increase on Sunday, but not enough to help struggling retailers. Richard Lawrence is live in Exeter for us this evening. So Richard, what do these figures mean for our high streets?
And apologies for that rather vocal interruption during Richard Lawrence's live reporting there. Well, let's move on to other news now. And a Cornish primary school was forced to close today after thieves drained its heating oil for the second time in a few weeks. Staffers.
A new task force set up after the announced closure of Appledore Shipyard estimates it would lead to a £10 million annual loss to the local economy. Owners.
Food banks across our region say demand is at record levels. The Camborne.
Now, next on the programme, the ambitious project to build a supersonic car to break the world land speed record and travel in excess of 1,000 miles an hour is back on. Bloodhound brought crowds from across the world to Newquay last summer for its first test. However, early this month it was announced plans to go faster had been scrapped. Now, Plymouth's politicians have promised workers at the Bardon factory they will do all they can to secure talks with the German owners to try to save their jobs. 400 roles could go if the aerospace ball bearings factory closes. Brexit uncertainty is one of the reasons given for plans for it to close. Well, for more on this, we can join our political correspondent David Wood, who's live in Westminster for us tonight. David, we're going to talk more on Brexit in just a moment. First, what hope is there that Plymouth's MPs can secure talks to try to save those jobs?
Well, John T, tonight.
And David, moving on, some breaking news in the last few minutes that Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn will table a motion of no confidence in the Prime Minister. Was that something that was expected?
Well, Kylie, this gives...
Now you're watching ITV News here in the West Country. Still to come on tonight's programme before 6:30. We'll have...
And the ITV News continues with the national and international stories at 6:30. Mary Nightingale has the details for you. But first, thousands of children across the West Country have benefited from the Daily Mile, the campaign backed by ITV where pupils walk, jog or run outside for 15 minutes a day. You might remember that. Great to see so many getting involved. We're going to continue a sporting theme now. You can see Carrie's joined us to talk through the weekend sport. Carrie, we're going to start with Exeter City because after a bit of a barren run, they've got a win at last.
Yes, Jonty, that's right. It had been 8 games in League Two that they hadn't won since October, but they got their promotion bid back on track with a 1-0 win over Crewe at St James Park. Victory moves them up to 7th place in the table. Here's what the fans made of the game. Well, after scoring his spectacular winner, Grecian's winger Lee Martin celebrated in style. While Yeovil battled to a goalless draw at Cambridge, while Plymouth Argyle also picked up a much-needed victory as they won at Rochdale, although they had some help from their opponents. The Pilgrims took... Great news for them to be back. Elsewhere in the FA Trophy, Torquay United were knocked out. The goal... On to rugby then, and Exeter Chiefs kept alive their slim hopes of reaching the European Cup quarter-finals. Chiefs... Cornwall's Melissa Reid made history at the weekend by becoming the first ever visually impaired women's world champion. She was... And that's your sport for now, but please get in touch with us with your views over the festive period. Send your videos in to westcountryfans@itv.com.
Carrie, thank you very much indeed. Both of us kind of watching that surfing video with the mouths open there. Huge, wasn't it?
Amazing, yeah. Now, they have been going for over half a century and one of their members will soon turn 80, but music legends, the Wurzels, have no intention of slowing down yet. No, since they formed back in the 1960s, they've become West Country icons and have performed dozens of sell-out gigs in the last year alone. So why are they still so popular? Well, in the first of our special features on the band, Ben McGrail has been speaking to the 2 longest-serving members.
It is an amazing story. Tune in for tomorrow night's programme. Ben's going to be finding out more from Wurzels member Tommy.
Time to take a look at what the weather's up to now, and Charlie has joined us. I mean, it was a pretty rubbish weekend in parts, wasn't it? Very rainy, very cold.
Very cold, yeah, although today we've 12 degrees. Wow. So, yeah, all thanks in part to what's being dragged up by...
OK, Charlie, thank you. Before we leave you, let's remind you of our top story here in the West Country this evening and high streets. That is it from all of us on this evening's programme. I will be back to bring you the late news. It's slightly later tonight. Do join me at 11 o'clock if you can.
But now I'll hand you to Mary Nightingale as the ITV News continues. From all of us here, enjoy your evening. We'll see you tomorrow at 6. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.